Good evening. We are live. I always like coming in live. Jen, good evening. You've been here for a while, as has Regina and Linda, my friend. You guys got here bright and early, and it's so good to see you. Linda is here from Texas, El Paso, and Valerie. She's here from northwestern Indiana. And there's Cactus Deb from Glendale, Arizona. I almost said Alabama. I got Alabama on the mind for some reason. So, how's everybody doing? Survived the long weekend and ready to get back to it and back to work. How is the voice level for you guys tonight? I've I've reverted back to a headset and I want to make sure that I'm not blasting you out. Hi, Karen. Karen's here from Missouri. Welcome. And Maureen is here from Kansas. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. And Betty's here from Oregon. Okay, good. I'm glad this is working out. You guys know how much I have had problems with audio. Oh, tonight we're going to do one template in 3 sizes. And this is something that we don't normally see with the circles on Quilt Spinning Wheel. But we're going to look at number 15, which is an 11.5 inch template, number 16, which is a 7.5 inch template, and number 17, which is a 5.5 inch template. All 3 templates are the same other than their size. So let's go ahead and pull this out. Want to kind of show a little bit to you. This is probably one of the easier templates that we've had with the spinning wheels. Let me see if I can get this a little better here for you. There we go. What it is there's no A and there's no B. And we're just going to go around and twist around and twist. And I am going to show you something a little different with this guy right here. So let me get us back into place. And there we go. And Lee's here and Joey's made it in too. Welcome, guys. So good to see you. Okay, I've got a different color. I've got a different color tonight. Can you believe it? I've almost run out of the red ones. So now we're going to green ones. It just depends on what I have the most fabric of at the time. Okay. Ken is not here tonight. His normal Monday night the city council got changed to Tuesday with last night being a holiday. There we go. I had us pulled in too tight. Okay, this works on a pin. We are just going to go ahead and we are going to do a half of this, which is going to be 8 rotations. But we're not going to do all 8. We're just going to do a few of them because I have other things that I want to show you as well. And here we go. Yes, I have a different foot on tonight, or a different machine tonight. And that is because I am working on a project. I am making a backpack for my great grandson. Can you believe it? Year and a half old, he needs a backpack for daycare. You know, it's really kind of funny because as I was struggling with this and struggling with the pattern. Thank goodness I have a very good friend who's a bag maker. And she told me I picked the hardest pattern I could find. Anyway, I so again, when I was walking through Walmart, it sure was tempting just to pick one up. Okay, I need to make some adjustments on here. There we go. And we're ready to take off, guys. Donna's here. Okay. Oh, good to see you, Donna. Let me pull this up. Now, you all know that I have fat fingers and that this machine doesn't have a really high or a lot of space like my 301 does. But my 301 is an older machine, doesn't have much oomph to it. So I need this one for all of those hard areas with the backpack. There we go. Okay, let's take a look. Wow, definitely need to do some adjusting here, guys. Okay, got a problem. Yep, and I can see what it is. So bear with me for just a minute, please. Yeah. What my problem is that I have got a 100 weight in my bobbin, and this machine does not like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take it off. Isn't this great? I love how easy it is for us to take our temp or our slider up, and you'll see it jumped right out. So we're just going to take that out, and I'm just going to put another one in here. And this one I know was working because it was working this afternoon when I used it. There we go. This should work a whole lot better. All righty. I'm just going to do a little test on the edge here. You didn't see that, did you? I just got my okay, there. Now, good question to ask. Are any of you going to the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show this weekend? Or actually, it's during the week as well. Kate Quinn will be there at Linda Z's booth, helping her to demonstrate. It's always a great time, great education, lots to see, and lots of fun. I'm hoping to make it down there. I don't know if I will or not. There we go. Okay, let's start this over again. This time it's going to work, I promise. All right, we're going to use the pin. Um, let's see. Okay. Armetta's here from Oklahoma and Jackie from Alberta, Canada. Hello. Okay, Jackie, why don't you call the office regarding the shipping charges? Maybe what you can do is order them through a Canadian quilt shop, and the shipping would probably be a little less. And I'm sure one of the girls in the office will be happy to help you with that, okay? I don't have a whole lot of that information right now, unfortunately. Okay, we're gonna try this again, guys. This time it's gonna work. Put my needle down. Now, this is not at all a difficult template. What you're gonna do when you get here is you're just gonna slow down a little bit to get around that corner. And it's not a sharp corner. It's a nice, uneven corner, I call it, because it just flows, as does this whole template. And do an extra little hesitation stitch here. I'm going to turn this around so you can see it. Practice. I'm not going to bury my threads. Oh, and this looks a whole lot better than it did a minute ago, doesn't it? I'm not sure how many of you were able to catch Donnell's live last night. I did listen to it this morning. I thought it was absolutely excellent. The information she gave was so useful, and I can see where it would help anybody. I know she's a couple tricks in there that I'm going to try. I'll tell you, they were good. Now, what I'm doing is I'm just turning my fabric. I like to turn the fabric instead of the template when I'm doing this. Um, we all do things a little differently, and it's just me, guys. It's just the way I am. Now, what you're going to see is you've got an etched line right here. Hi, Dee Dee. Good to see you. Um, Waiting for it to rain. Dee Dee, it's going to rain here, and this is our last nice day. It's coming down tomorrow in the 60s, then it's going to be in the 50s from that point out. Hopefully, we'll get an Indian summer. I'm not ready for this. I did get out in the garden yesterday, though. Okay, so back to the chore at hand here. This uh, etched line is going to line up on the previously stitched line, and it works perfectly. I know that because my halfway mark is exactly where it should be here. Okay, make sure you guys can see that good. So now what's going to happen is we're going to stitch up and we're going to cross over. And that's what makes this awesome design on the bottom half of this template. I'm going I'm not sure what way is better to show this to you. So right here, you see we're going to cross over and encroach on the last stitching of the last template, the last rotation. I'm going to take a hesitation stitch here. Isn't that cool? And then I'm going to come back down. Hesitation stitch not because it's a sharp um, turn, but because we want it to be sharp instead of rounded off. Then we're going to come back and meet. And again, we're just going to move on over to our next reference line. This is not hard to do. You see what's happening here is we're getting a nice circle, and getting from one to another with this particular template is not not difficult at all. Oh, Jan, right now, Jan, I am using Circles on Quilts Spinning Wheel 15. I'm going to do 15, 16, and 17, and they are all the same, just different sizes. Okay, I will give you, let me get you that link for number 15. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and do one more rotation. One, two, yeah, three. I'm going to do two more. I'm sorry. I'm just doing half like this. Then I'm going to show you another thing we can do that I like. I think it's kind of cool to take these things and shake them up a little bit, right? I'm all the way up to the top. Hesitation stitch. And we're going to come back to the bottom. There we go. Little hesitation stitch there. And back to where we started. Now, this time what I'm going to do is I'm not going to touch the template. Okay, this is just another way to do our stitching. Ah, that didn't work so good, did it? Okay, I'm going to definitely hold on to it. All right, so now we've got three. Oh, that's why I didn't start at number one. So we've got three rotations here. And this is exactly the way they're supposed to look. I'm gonna go ahead and take the template off. You can tell this one's a little older, still has the gate, but this is the design, and we have the design as well right here. This is what it looks like when it's all stitched out. Really like this one. I think it just there's just something about it, the way that it crosses over just a little bit yet makes this. But there's some other things that we can do with this template. And let me show them to you. We'll need to know where I need to get next. There we go. Well, sometimes I think I make it harder than it has to be. I don't know, I may be dyslexic. Okay, so what I want to do is I want you to see that I put a pink arrow right here. And the reason I put the pink arrow right here is because this is where the next rotation meets the previous rotation. Okay, and you can see the previous rotation here. Now I'm instead of using an 8 reference lines, I'm using 16 reference lines. So let's take a look on what happens if we stop at that pink arrow and go back to center. But I love when we can use the templates and play games with them, right? And what I mean by that is that they allow us to do different designs. Okay, we're going to stop at the pink arrow and go back. You don't have to go really fast. This is definitely not a race. Okay, now we're coming down right back to where we started. Wheel down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come to the next line. And remember, I've got 16 reference lines here. There we go. Line up here. Try and speed up a little bit. I tend to stitch very slowly. Now I'm going to stop when I get to that last rotation, and I'm going to go back to where I started. Hesitation stitch there, and just coming back down to center. The template center, not the block center, because if you remember, we've got this on a pin. So 99% of the time, that pin means we're going to have a 2-inch circle in the middle. And here we go. We're going to do that again once or twice more, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to embellishing this just a little bit. Not going to do a whole lot. You see how I have my tape very close to the edge where I'm stitching. I want that gate to be as stable as I can get it. And placing the tape close to the edge of the ruler where the foot is passing by will give you that advantage. And back down to center. Let's do one more, okay? There we go. We are at center. Let's see. Let's see where we're at if we got any new comments. Oh, Jan, you're welcome. This is a pretty one. What I like about this is it's going to give us opportunity to template. It also is going to give us opportunity, if we wish, to do some free motion some free motion work here. And I'm going to come back. Now, the question I had was, can this be used without the pin and just putting the center in the center? Well, that's what we're going to find out right now, okay? I'm going to go ahead, take my pin out, my tag. I always call it a pin, it's really a tag. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to bring my foot and my thread down to the center. Oh, I didn't quite make it there. There we go. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go ahead and make this the way it's supposed to be from the center as opposed to the tack. Now this first one isn't going to show us anything. What this will do is this will give you a design that's going to be 2 inches smaller. So instead of it being 11.5, it's going to be 9.5 inches. So this is really nice if you need to shorten up the design. And we'll go ahead and just do the design like it's intended to be, except it's not going to be on the tack. And it gives us a whole new look. Hesitation stitch there. Hesitate right there. Take it slow, going around that little drop off. Stop with my needle down and rotate. And what you'll see is this one encroaches onto the previous rotation in an entirely different way. Again, leaving lots of template opportunity here on this one. And we're back to center. There we go. Let's go ahead and take it out. And there we go. So tell me what you think. Is this a template that would be something you'd be interested in trying? Here is the as intended design right here. On the tack, this is going to add 2 inches around, an inch on all sides, the same as most others, okay? This one does this little bit of stitching over the last motif. Like it. I love this overall design. You can see it better right here. And, it would be fun to do a double template and do a yellow in the center and then a high contrast underneath, like Anne does, some very bright, brilliant colors. I love Anne's designs, and I love the way she is not afraid to use color. She puts those colors under her rich tonals on top, and man alive, they pop. I'm not that brave yet. I'm more of a neutral girl, but I sure love her work. But I could see where this would be so awesome, and I could just see her doing it, and then with her free motion around the outside as well. Now, if you wanted something that was a little bigger, what you could do is you could take your template, line it up halfway in between, and then stitch from top to top. And we'll do this. Oh, here we go. We'll do it twice. So where I'm going to start, you can actually do this. Oh, I can't use that one. Never mind. Um, If you do it, you leave it where the pin is in the center, you're going to get a little bit of a cap on there, and I'll show you what you're going to see. Okay, there we go. Let's pull that thread up. We don't want any nests. The only nests I want to see are out in the bushes when the birds build them. Okay. There we go. And now I need my spacing gauge, guys. Now what we can do is we can use, oops, that's why, use our template to get over to the other side. And it looks like I've got a wonky area here. Come down this far. This time I'm going to pull it away a little bit more. All right. Making sure I'm staying in the middle. If you made 16 rotation lines, it would help you to make sure you're lined up properly. I'm going to come back up to the top and stop there. Now what I'm going to do, and you can see how much bigger this one is than this one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do my little twist. Now, when I do this, I prefer to do it only on one side. You can do it on both sides. I've done it on both sides. It looks awesome. It really, really does. But my preference is to do it only on one side. Then I'm going to go one more time. I'm living dangerously here. Can you tell? And back up to the top. There we go. Now I'm going to put it back at center where it belongs. There we go. Come down. Now to get to the next one, what you can do is hold the template just like this, quarter of an inch out, and then you can go ahead and line yourself up for the next one. Okay, so that's just one little piece of embellishment you can put on. I like it. I think it looks kind of cool. I like having things peek out. You could come back later and actually put in some lines coming this way on this one with one of your arcs. I would say probably your 6-inch or your 12-inch. All right. So this is the number 15 spinning wheel. Nice not to have any A's or B's to get messed up with. I gotta tell you, I like it. I really, really do. Now I'm gonna go ahead and trade out here. Well, goodness, I didn't clip my bobbin thread. Okay, so here's one of our good old red ones. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to, I'm looking at my paper here, my practice paper. We are going to, if I can get the bag open, guys. Oh, I swear some days. Hi, Bernice. Okay, where are we? Pam is here. Hi, Pam. Well, Chris, hi. I thought I was going to see you today. I got to talk to you, okay? Okay, Linda's time for supper at Linda's. Everybody's invited, right, Linda? Oh, no, that's silly. That's just silly. Ah, let's see where we are at. Bernice, since I'll have to watch the rerun also to see it. Yes, Bernice, sometimes when we get in late, watching the rerun is okay too. Um, Jan is going to her first retreat. Oh, how fun. You're going to have a ball, Jan. Uh, Dee Dee, I've never been to a retreat either. Okay. Hi, Joyce. Joyce is here from Fairfield, California. And Bernice Garcia. Yes. Okay. So here we've got the same template, and this one is smaller. It's number 16. And I am grabbing the link for that. And here it is. Don't forget the deal date 20. You get 20% off of these templates this week. Okay, same template, just in a smaller size. This is a 7.5 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tack in first. There we go. Put it in the front, then put it in the back. And you guys all know what I'm going to say. It doesn't put a hole in your fabric, it just moves the fibers apart. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put our template on there. Now, I'm just going to do a few of these the right way. Okay. This way it's easier for you all to see it. You know what I'm missing, guys? I'm missing a center line up here. Not sure how that happened. I do have my center line here. My needle down. There we go. And the first few rotations, I'm going to do just like they are intended to be done. If you look at the picture right here, the edged picture of what this design will look like, it shows 8 rotations. And what I like about 8 rotation designs, they go really quickly if you're in a hurry. But none of us are ever in a hurry, right? We always start our projects with plenty of time to spare. Right, girls? Okay. Oh, Maureen asked if we could do the fat part in the center. Let's try it. We'll definitely try it, Maureen. Okay, so now I'm going to come over. There we go. And again, this one has the edge lines here and here. So you know you're at the proper space. Now here is the same design we get with the larger one, just in different dimensions. Okay. And this is what I mean. This is much more narrow. This is much squattier. On the other one, what we got was this was more prominent, and this little diamond shape was very small. On this one, it's very large, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, here we go. We're going to do one more like this. And this will be the last one as an 8-point design. And back to center. Okay. Now let's do Maureen's suggestion. All right. Lift my foot. I'm going to turn this around. I need to take my tack out. There it is. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to put the inside fat part out here. Whoops, can't do it till I would do that. These machines are smarter than I am. Okay. This is the 7.5 inch. Let's get the 5.5 inch out and try it backwards with that. I think we're going to be able to see better. Okay. I've never tried this. I don't know how it's going to work. So be patient with me, please. You can tell this is a new one. It has a needle channel in it. There we go. Now, there we go. That side in. We'll do this as if we're doing 8 rotations, okay? So here's number 1. Oh, I like it. You know what this looks like, guys? It looks like an ivy leaf. Look at that. It's a perfect ivy leaf. And the only way mine grow is to give them to someone else. Okay, so we're doing this with 8 points. Let me skip one right here. You can feel the center. It has the divot in there. Mm, I want to get rid of all this thread here as soon as I can find my scissors. Oh, sometimes I feel like the absent-minded professor, right? There they are. Okay, boy, just whack those off. There, there we go. A lot of mess for only one little thread. Okay, there we are. So we're gonna put another one in. And this will be the last one that we put in like this. But I love this. I love this. Isn't that cool? What do you think, Maureen? You like that? Okay. Hi, Monica. How are you? Linda's. Oh, Linda, I didn't see you come in. Hi. Yeah, doesn't that look cool, Maureen? I am so happy you suggested that. Sometimes when we do things that we hadn't expected is when we find the best things. Playing with these templates is just tons of fun. It really is. As I was doing that, though, I have an idea for a border. Y'all like my little glittery ribbon? Or my glittery ruler? Isn't that cool? My girlfriend, who we've been friends since kindergarten, and she gifted me a set, this one and a larger one, because it's all about the glitz, right? But she is the one who makes bags. I wish you could see them. They're amazing. Oh goodness, the dog decided to wake up and be heard. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I need to make some marks here first. Okay, I am going to just put a hash mark every inch to start with. And what that's going to do is that's going to give me where I need to be. And I might need it to be 2 inches. Let's see. Okay. Because this is just something I'm coming up with now. So, oh, the mailman just left here. That's goodness. I feel sorry for our mail deliverers here. They work half the night. My daughter and her husband are both mail carriers. work hard. Okay, needle down, line it up, put it this way, just for this first rotation. And we're gonna clip some threads and we're gonna flip it over. Okay. That, we can do that. But if we do that, we need to get back. And in order to do that, we need to make some measurements. So it's gonna end up. I'm up too far. Just right. Okay. Let's go ahead and cut these threads off. So now what I'm looking at is I'm looking at where I'm going to land and where I need to land to make this work. And I'm going to take some of my ruler arrows here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it on my template where I want the rotation prior to land in coordination with moving our template. Oops. I meant to come up here. And it's going to land right here. And on this side is going to land over here. Silly. Okay, we can take this one off. We don't need it. Okay, I think we got it now. So what I'm going to do, I was right the first time. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm not going to go all the way around. And I'm going to come back down to where the arrow is. And I'm going to come straight down. Line it up. That. Don't forget that hesitation stitch in the center. Now this is where I want to make sure that I'm stitching every other side. Go. 1, 2. This is how designs come up. Somebody asks a question, as Maureen did, and then it got me thinking. I did it the way Maureen asked. I love the outcome. I hadn't thought of doing it that way. But then I started thinking when she mentioned doing it that way, I started thinking we could make a pretty cool border, I think, out of this. So this is what we're doing right now. Now, if you wanted to, you could take the larger ones and do this and then stagger them as a fill design. Let me show you what I mean. Okay. I think it's pretty cool. What do you guys think? Ghost shapes. Yeah, I'm with you. Design it on the fly. Yep. How am I going to embellish it? Probably with hot crystals. Oh, yeah. I like this. I like this. So if I were going to do a full etched design, what I would do is I would come in here and I would stagger them. By staggering them, I mean I would take half of this template and line it up. Okay. Um, I would want that to come in here where these guys are. So let's go ahead and just give it a shot, okay? And I would, oh, I forget, use that cutter. I gotta pull my bobbin thread. Um, I would also use the larger template for this. This is kind of small to think about doing that many rotations in one area. All right. I don't have a straight line drawn, so I'm not really sure how well this is going to work. What we do know is that it would look better with a straight line drawn. Mm. Okay, for some reason, this one's a little bigger. Oh, I forgot to go back up. So then these would stagger, better if I had the lines drawn in, but you get the idea of what I'm talking about anyway. Again, if I were to do this, it would be with the 11.5 inch. A small space would be fine with this one. Okay, Dee Dee, it's good to see you. Okay, let's do. Okay. Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. Just ran over a dog. Betsy says, I would start in the middle, make 2 rotations in opposite directions, then do a partial rotation. You certainly could do that as well, Betsy. Absolutely. Dee Dee sees a string of ivy leaves, and you know what? That's what I saw, ivy leaves also when we turned it over and went this way. And I never would have done that had it not been suggested. Thank you, Maureen, that we do that. Okay. And I want to make sure that I get you guys the link to the small template as well. This would be the template number 17 is the smallest one. So, I mean, we've seen how versatile this can be. Um, We've seen it done in ways unexpected. We've seen it done in ways expected. We've seen it done with embellishments on it. And the bottom line with this and any template we do, guys, is, we're only limited by our imaginations. Pull out the paper, pull out the pencils, and just go to it. Have fun using your stitching line discs and coming up with something on paper is always the first way to go because it's cheap and it can be erased or done over again or anything you want for sure. But in all, it is a good time as it is for me to be here with you. I do appreciate you taking part of your day out to come and see me here and to share ideas. Share ideas. So if you enjoyed us, don't forget like, subscribe, and share. If you need to get a hold of me, have any questions, ideas, suggestions, whatever, please feel free to do that. You would go to sostudy.com. Under the Elevate tab, you'll see instructors. And when you choose that, you will see me listed with all of the Westerly design instructors. And I would be happy to talk to you anytime you need anything. So, tomorrow we will be here with Spin and Echo, and that was always a lot of fun. It's Spin and Echo 1 through 3. So we will see you at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Mountain, and 6 o'clock Pacific. Oh, goodness. I'm never quite sure I get those times right, but I try. So until we see you again, thank you for being here and let's quilt.